Hello and welcome to Old Lady Plays. I'm Kate, the Old Lady, and this is The Demigods, episode 30 of A Greek Hero's Save. And we are here with the final episode. Just a little special just to send you off with a chef's kiss. 5 years later, we're going to look at how the heroes have gotten on in their careers. They're all 28 by now. So their careers are getting on toward the latter stages. Not done yet by any stretch. They probably got several years to go, but they're getting on a bit. So let's have a look at how things are. The first one, as you can see, is Jason, who is at Valencia. And he is still a striker, of course. He's worth 66 million, making 100,000 a week, euros. And he's got a terrific average rating. So that's pretty good. We're pretty happy with that. Let's pop in and see how Jason is doing. Don't click there, click here. There you go. Now I can just go here and turn that off for a moment. Excellent. So you can see how he looks. Pretty good, I would say. He is up to 31 goals, 15 goals in 31 matches, which I'd say is pretty good. Yeah, none of them are penalties, so he's not taking penalties for his team even. And a 7.57 rating is really remarkable. Let's have a look at his career stats. There we go. So what happened to him? He stayed at Apollon until till the end of the season, playing very well that season. He moved before he played a game for Apollon the next year to Zebre, to Juventus, where he scored 3 goals in 11 starts. Not great, but not terrible either for a first time. He was only 22 at the time, or 23 maybe. 17 million took him to Valencia, where he bagged 10 goals in 26 starts, then 15 in 33, 9 in what looks like an injury-shortened 26-27 season, and then 15 so far, or 15 in this season. I'm curious to see how he did with injuries. Was there a big one? Broken ribs in 21. That's a long time ago. Oh, I see. No, that's 2026. I see. Sorry, it's backwards from what I was expecting. I was expecting 21/7/2026, so I'm looking at the 21 and thinking that's the year. 2026, that makes sense. Broken ribs. He was out for 3 months. Yeah. So that'll do it. That'll make a big difference. And he obviously shortened his season pretty noticeably. That's going to be it, I think, for Jason. Let's go back into the short list. And we'll move this down just a little bit and see how Bellerophon is doing. So Bellerophon, as you can see, is at Inter in the Serie A, making 155,000 a week and turning in a most un-goalkeeper-like 7.37 worth 45.5 million. It's got to be one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Let's pop in and see him. Alright, and we turn off the color box. There we go. Look at that. So he's doing pretty well. He's outstanding. I mean, his handling could be better. That's about it. And that's my fault because I never included anything to improve goalkeeper stats. So, my fault. But he's outrageous. Look at the numbers here. His physicals are still incredible. His mentals are off the charts. So I think this is really quite good. What has he been up to? He went directly to Inter and come on, there you go. For 17.5 million. Conceded 26 goals with 11 clean sheets at Inter. The next season, 20 clean sheets with only 14 conceded. I wonder if they won the league. Let's see. History. Landmarks. Have they won the league? They have won the league. Let's see. 2023, that's when he came. They were the European Champions League runners-up. They went to the Club World Championship and placed third. They won the Europa League. They won Serie A. And they won the Super Cup, the Italian Super Cup. Let's turn back on the color source. See if I can get this habit made. And then we'll go back to the short list. Hurrah! And we'll see where Achilles is. Achilles is at Milan. So that's rather nice. He is at, as I say, Milan. He is doing fairly well. 6.93, 95,000 a week, worth 27 million. He's pretty good, I would say. Let's see how he got to Milan. And turn off the color box. Dun-dun-dun. And there we go. Achilles is looking like a heck of a defender. I mean, there aren't too many teams that wouldn't have him as their center back. He's been very effective, it looks like. He's played around a little bit. He's played in different positions, including defensive midfielder, enough to become competent at it. So that's interesting. I don't think I would have thought of him as a fullback. His crossing is 3. So there you go. He didn't get there straight out. He went for 1.6 million. Can you believe that? To Man City, but only got a single match where he played a 6.7, and that was that. So, not really given a chance. But he was loaned to Werder Bremen in the Bundesliga 2, where he scored 1 goal, 1 assist, 3 player of the match, but a 7.22, that's pretty good. He went to CSKA Moscow in Russia and played half the season or so. Got himself, a pretty good rating. Then was bought by Milan for 25 million. Kind of nice. Played 13 matches in his first season, getting a 6.79, and the 22 matches in his second season, getting a 6.83. So that's pretty good, I'd say. How's he done internationally? He got 20 caps so far. I mean, he's only 28, so he can still easily get some more caps. But, yeah, that's not bad, I would say. Let's turn back on the color source this time before we go back to the short list. Hurrah! And we'll find out what's going on with Theseus. Theseus is also at Milan, which is kind of interesting. I'm going to move this over just a little bit so it doesn't... Actually, it works pretty nicely there. Okay. So yes, Theseus is at Milan. Let's go look at Theseus. Here is Theseus. Ta-da! He is a winger and a born leader. I love that. A born leader. Look at that. That is so nice. I don't think he's gained any traits. Maybe he likes to switch ball to wide areas. I don't remember giving him that. But that's okay. He's learned a little bit. He's become a pretty good player. 27 million in value. Went directly to Milan from Apollon, but not immediately. He stuck around for another couple of seasons. This is where we left. And he stuck around for 2 more seasons before going to Milan for 8.5 million. And he's played some games there. You know, he's become a regular this year as a left winger, and played very well when he was given a regular chance. 3 goals, 6 assists, a 7.3. I'd say that's fairly well. I wonder how the Champions League went. He got a couple of goals, 7.46 in the Champions League. I'd say that's pretty good. Yeah, it's gone well for him. He's been a pretty good player, and he's done well at Milan. So let's turn back on the color source, and then go back up here, and we'll look at Ajax. Ajax is at Borussia Dortmund, but he is transfer listed, so that's kind of interesting. Also, Theseus is transfer listed, and I think somebody else was too. Heracles is transfer listed. He's actually transferring somewhere. So, so a few of the guys are transfer listed, but that's kind of okay. Ajax is at Borussia Dortmund, where he's making 68,000 a week at a 21 million value. Not bad, but he doesn't have any league record there. So let's get in and have a look. Looks like that's just because the league has already twitched over. And in fact, he played 13 matches and had a 6.83, which isn't bad, but he's not playing as much as we'd like to see. So how did he get there? He went from Apollon, played 6 matches in that season, and then transferred in part exchange to Olympiakos. Olympiakos, 4.2 million plus part exchange. That's interesting. Did very well at Olympiakos next year. 3 player of the match, 7.26. That's pretty decent. 20 million paid by Borussia Dortmund for him, only for him to play an average of 10 or 12 games a year. A little disappointing, that, I think. I really expected more from Ajax. I guess his technicals really never developed as far as he needed them to make him really a top player. He is a born leader, which is nice. And he did get 47 caps for Greece so far, so that's pretty good. Oh, I've done it again. Actually, I think it's okay this time, because I don't think anything that I wanted to show you has been covered up. Let me just have a quick peek. No, nothing I wanted to show you has been covered up. Okay, that's fine. Has he had any injuries? Not really to speak of. Anyway, sorry about the color box. I'm having a hard time coordinating all of these different things. Alright, let's move on. We are going to go back onto the color box. We're going back to the short list. We're going to look at Perseus. And Perseus is at CSKA Moscow. So let's figure out how he got there. He's making 56,000 a week, valued at 18.5 million. He's gotten 53 caps and 13 goals for what do you call it? For Moscow. For Greece, I should say. Ooh, for Moscow. Let's have a look at his career stats, because he's been pretty good, I think. And yes, he stayed at Apollon for quite a while. In fact, running out his contract and moving to Moscow on a free, which is kind of interesting, but he did very well. Look at the ratings. And he was playing in Europe too. Look at that. He got 7 goals in continental play in that year. 1 that year, 6 that year, 1 that year, 1 that year. Boy, he's played a lot of continental matches. I wonder how... Let's have a quick peek at Apollon and see how they've done since then. Because I'm beginning to have a feeling they did very well in something. Honors, sure, but let's see. Champions Cup? Nope, they haven't made it into the main round yet. Alright, that's okay. Europa League. Done okay in the various groups, but not great. And, oh, that's frustrating. There we go. Didn't really do anything. Oh, I see. Hang on, there's a first knockout round in there. And a quarterfinal. They lost to Celtic in the quarterfinal. Wow. That's really cool. That's the year that he scored the 7 goals. So, yeah, very nice. That's really interesting. All right. He has not scored at Moscow, as Moskva. That's kind of surprising. I'm a little baffled by that. I wonder if he's baffled by it. Is he playing as... Oh, he could be playing just about anywhere these days. Looks like he's been playing wingback a fair bit too. Can we see his form at all? He's been playing wingback almost exclusively. Look at that. And doing a pretty good job at it, considering he's really not a wingback. But I guess there's no reason he couldn't be. He's just got no defending. His tackling is 3, his positioning is 5, marking is 6. You wouldn't want to count on him as a defensive wingback, but that's for sure. But that's okay. Let's get back to the list. We'll put the box back on, come back to the list, and see what Heracles is up to. Heracles is at Apollon. Yes, that's right. He's still there. So, what's going on? He's transferring to Ajax on July 1st, which is coming up in about 2 weeks. He was transfer listed on April 6th as the club no longer acquired his services. So, anyway, he's making $24,500 a week at Apollon, and he's worth $7.5 million. So let's go see how he looks. And I'm going to turn off the color source. Ta-da! So let's see how he looks. I'd say he looks pretty good. I mean, I'd take him. Tenacious defensive midfielder. That's a description. I think that's fair. Interesting. Very interesting to see how he's done. Let's have a look at his career stats. There we go. And he's been a very good player for Apollon for many years now. It's interesting that he's decided to move on. I wonder how he's done in terms of his discipline. 7 yellows, 2 reds. 11 yellows, 2 reds. 13 yellows, no reds. 8 yellows, no reds. 15 yellows, no reds. 16 yellows, 3 reds. Ooh. That was under my management. 27 yellows, 1 red. 7 yellows, no reds. So he got his share throughout his career. Yeah. He's got 34 caps and 5 goals. That's not bad for a defensive midfielder. I think he's pretty good. What's this? Thinks Orpheus is an inspired leader. Oh, that's lovely. Wonder what it says about his information. Homer poet. He still loves Homer poet. But he doesn't say anything else. Media style, outspoken, volatile, and confrontational. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to be all night editing this. Back to the short list. Ta-da! Alright, we'll look at Orpheus. Orpheus is at Apollon. That's right, he is still there. He is a leader at the club, 18,500 a week. He's worth 5.75 million. And here he is. And he's been doing very well for them. He's obviously very effective as a leader with a 16 leadership, 18 teamwork, 20 determination. You know, he's a solid player, and he has only once turned in an under 7, and that was to put in 6.98. So you can't really complain about how he's done in terms of his output. I've done it again. I've done it again. I've done it again. I'm getting so frustrated with doing it again. I'm doing it again. Let's go here, and then we'll go back to the short list. All right. Castor. Let's see where Castor has ended up. He is, oh my goodness, also at Apollon. It's getting to be an old team week there at the old team. He is on 16,250 a week. He's worth 5.75 million, and here he is, Castor. So let's take the box away and have a look here. Castor is an absolute, he's still blazing pace, 19 pace, 19 acceleration. His crossing has come up to 7, which is not too bad. His long throws remain at 19. So, and he can mark and position himself. He's not much at tackling, but he can do the other parts of being a defender. He can play all over the place. He's apparently played as a striker and as a left winger, as well as all across the defense. So, yeah, he's definitely been effective, I would say. 3 caps and 1 goal for Greece. That's disappointing, that he only got 3 caps for Greece. Now, I think Kyriakopoulos has been ahead of him, because Kyriakopoulos is quite a good left back. But anyway, he's done okay. He's done okay. He hasn't scored very much, but that's not what you expect from, a fullback. He hasn't put out very many assists. I would have expected more from that. But, he's put up reasonably decent numbers every year. I think the lowest is 6.87 here. So that's not bad. He's been able to get the business done. So that's nice. I've done it again. I keep thinking that the back button will take me back to the profile, and it doesn't. It takes me back to the short list. Let's go. Back to the short list. So where's Castor's brother Polydeuces? He is at... we peaked just a little bit. He is at Al-Ittihad in Saudi Arabia, playing very well, making 41,000 a week, worth 4.6 million. So let's have a look at him. I'll turn the box off and forget to turn it back on again when I need to, of course, because that's what I do. It is good to see him. He's not as good as his brother. That's interesting, I would say. He doesn't seem to be as technically able, which is just unexpected. They both started with identical stats, remember. The only difference between them is one had 19 pace and 20 acceleration. The other was the other way around. He is an explosive fullback, as well as being, of course, a born leader. It's at 20 leadership. That's not too surprising. Let's see how he's done with his career. Right, he stuck around at Apollon for several years. Playing on, getting a few more goals than his brother did. And getting quite a few goals when he got to Saudi Arabia. He's done quite well there. Played entire seasons. Pretty good. Go back to the profile without going to the short list this time. And we can see that he's had 28 caps with 1 goal. That's not bad for a fullback. And it's funny that he's had more caps than his brother, because he doesn't look as good as his brother, which is just wild. So we can take away the color source now and just go back to the short list, because there's only one player left, and that is Odysseus, who is still in Greece. He is at Xanthi and making 82.50 a week, worth 4.9 million, the least successful of all of the Greek heroes. Unfortunate, but there it is. And he's turned into, I think, a pretty decent midfielder. His first touch is good, his passing is good, his vision is good, his flair is 20. That's awfully nice, His natural fitness is 20, so he'll last forever in games, It's just, I think this is a really good player. Let's see how he did in terms of getting here. Right, so he stayed at Apollon for several years, with diminishing returns. He got worse over the years, it would seem, as opposed to better. So that's kind of different. He went to PAOK on a loan, and did pretty decently. Got a bunch of games, and then went to Xanthi, where he has done very well, to be fair. But it's interesting that he couldn't function that way at Apollon. I wonder if they just didn't surround him with the right players. Interesting. He never did get capped by Grace. Never once got called up. So, overall, there's the team. And let's have a quick peek. Internationally, he's the only one who never got called up. Or at least never appeared in a match. We don't know whether or not he got called up. Bellerophon has the most caps. Next is Jason, then Theseus. Obviously, Jason has the most goals. I don't know what Greece's record is for goal scoring, but let's find out, shall we? Records. Most goals by a player. Oh, all-time top goal scorer, right there in large print at the top. Good. I bet you've been pointing at that for ages right now. I think I'll probably edit out some of my searching for that. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for this episode. We don't want to really run on too long. Let's have a quick peek at Apollon and see how they've done. Who was there for a long time? Odysseus was there for a long time. There's the team. And as you can see, they've only got 3 of the heroes left, and one of them is leaving. So that's okay. They've picked up other players since then, and they've become kind of an international team. Look at that. We've definitely made them a whole lot better than they were. There's no question about that. Finances are okay, but look how they've done in the league. We took them up in this season, 22-23, and they finished in 2nd place, then 3rd place, then 2nd, then 2nd, 5th, and 4th. So they've been up and around the top areas, and they've been playing in Europe a fair bit. I think that's pretty good. Competitions. How about the Greek Cup? Quarterfinal. Lost to Olympiacos in the Greek Cup final. Quarterfinal, semi-final, quarterfinal. Wow. Oh, and we won the Greek Cup. That's right, I remember that. We did that. Yes, I remember. Oh, good one, Katie. Good figuring that out. So, unfortunately, no success in Europe beyond the first knockout round. But I'd say that's pretty good overall. You know, a bunch of good finishes, lots of points. Yeah, we left them in good shape. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode. I got a whole bunch of editing to do, so I better get it done and go edit, because it's already 2:30 in the morning and I've got to have this out by 8 o'clock. So I hope you have enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate your time, and I hope you have a great day, and take care.